Where was All right. Sorry, this is the second part. I don't know why I didn't push pause instead of ending it. So we'll do that if there's another reason to stop. I don't foresee that. So anyway, we're just gonna continue around the edges, putting some watercolor-esque purple periwinkle. I'm going to carry that over. So I'm just kind of wiping it on and wiping it off. If you want it really heavy, by all means, you can be a little more heavy-handed. I'm keeping it around the edges just so it kind of looks, it gives you that contour of the jar. Uh-oh. Don't wipe too hard because then you're going to do what I did right there and wipe some of your base coat off. So I'm just going to blend a little bit. I had it and then it was wet and it blurred off again. All right. So I'm going to put my sponge to the side and moving on. I'm going to actually blow dry just a minute. I'm going to move my paints so that I don't blow them away. And all right, if it is shiny, it is still wet. If it is not shiny, then if it's the matte, then you're good and it's dry. So I'm going to use my chip brush a couple of times. This first time I'm going to dip it in the water. I don't want it soaking, dripping. I just want it fairly damp. And I'm going to, not fairly damp, I'm sorry, barely damp. So I don't know if you can see if I tap it a little bit, there's some drops, but I'm gonna dab it on the paper towel so it's just lightly moist, and I'm putting it on the white and I'm pushing most of that off. I got some drips, but that's okay because I'm going to run this in that same direction, a little bit oblong. Ooh, I was gonna say Miss Monica can't talk today. A little bit of up, down, kind of again going with the curve of the jar. Barely getting some on the paintbrush, on the moist, damp paintbrush, and scribbling that. I would not say it's rusticy by any means, but you see I'm kind of curving the corners, dragging. There we go. I'm happy with that. And actually touched it a little too damp. I'm going to blot that off with the closest paper towels I had. There we go. Take those streaks out. So like I said, I want it, the look I'm going for is kind of muted watercolors. So I don't want any really hard lines. And what I'm going to use to achieve that is just using damp brushes when I apply the paint. I can lightly scrub some of those out. All right, let's blow dry. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put 3 flowers and one at the bottom right-hand corner and 3 flowers at the top. 3 is a good design number because odd numbers are a little more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm just going to use my flat brush that I used earlier, the one that I put the base coat on, and make sure it's rinsed out. Dab, dab, dab. Okay. Dry it. Okay, so start off with, just kidding, we're going to start off with the medium pink. So you have a dark, middle, and light, and you are just going to kind of, I like to turn my brush to make these little petals. Another way you can do is start and make a circle and then just kind of bring the circle out with the petals. And it'll probably take a coat or so, just because we have a darker color on behind. So we can blow dry in between. If you don't want really harsh petal lines, just drag it like that. And they won't be so defined, not harsh, like defined. And then I am not going to rinse my brush from that color. I'm going to go ahead and get the darker one, and I'm going to make another flower right next to it. So here's another way. You just turn it and then turn it, the brush. You do want them touching, so just build it out to touch. I can even go so far in getting in there a little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. Let's do one more. Right. So all I'm doing is pushing, oh, let me see if I can find a piece of paper. All right, so all I'm doing is pushing and twisting, like that. Push and twist, push and twist. So when you do them together, you can go out and build that flower and the petals. Ta-da! All right. So now I'm gonna keep this one, and I'm gonna go back with those 2 colors. I'm gonna dip a little bit of my medium, then I'm gonna dip, well, let's see, start building it, and then I'll go a little bit with my dark. So all I did was tap in there a little bit with the dark. So I want it to show up against the larger flower. There we go. We have the 3. And I'm gonna just flip it over. Oh, see, you can't see when I move it. There we go. Like I said, you can see through, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let it dry without the blow dryer for a second. I'm gonna do the other 3 right here. I'm just gonna continue to not wash my brush and make that big one. And mix a little bit. You want them to overlap, remember? Twisting, twisting. Twisting, twisting. I need some music, but I know I'll have some kind of copyright violation if I... So I went ahead and added a dip of the light. And I'm just gonna use... Let me show you, because I kind of did that without telling you. So I dipped my paint in the light. And so you know that I've been using the side and pushing and turning. I'm not going to do that for this. Let me see if you can. I'm going to use the edge, just getting the edge of my brush. So stand it up and down, and then I'm just going to twist it in there like that while it's standing up. So I'm holding my brush vertical, perpendicular to the jar. I'm going to go back and do that on kind of all my flowers. And just, yeah, twisting them around like that. I'm going to wipe that off. And I do want a second coat on this one because I feel like it is not as opaque as I want it. Twisting, twisting, twisting. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the colors. Oh, I hope there's no paint at the bottom. I'm just going to go back and forth, adding some of those vertical kind of C shapes or twists in there, like that. And that light is really bright on my work surface, so I can't see what these top ones look like. Okay. And I'm going to blow dry. Okay. Let me go back and keep adding just a little more. So quiet. Too quiet. Okay. Put that in the water. And let's blow dry again. All right, we're going to use our round brush, and we're going to get our green, nice and springy green. And I'm going to start from like right here in the middle of that flower, and I'm going to push and drag, and all I did was kind of hold with my finger. And then I am gonna jump to this flower right here. Just extend that way. Don't hesitate, because we're gonna add some leaves to camouflage anything that you're not totally in love with. And then from that same spot that we started, you're just gonna kind of go and drag down. Drag down just a little bit. There we go. And here we're going to go up, flick, and here we're going to come out and flick, and maybe right there, just flick. Okay. Now is the fun part. We're going to make little leaves. Alright, so I have a little bit of Kelly green that I'm going to load on my brush at the same time. And let's see if I can show you on this what I'm going to do. Let me see, I'm sitting down now all of a sudden. Alright, so I am loading a little bit of the paint, not a glob, it's just, it looks like that, but it's not. Then I'm going to dip in the green. So I have both colors on my brush, and what I'm going to do is push down and pull up. push down and pull up, push down and pull up. And that's going to make little leaves that we are going to, they're going to cascade down, down. Oh no, what happened? Oh no. Let's see if we can smudgy that out. Woohoo! Saved it. So, because I'm going down, but I can't, it's awkward to do this, I'm going to flip upside down so then I can work this way. So like I said, just load with one green, pushing it in, and load with the other green, pushing it in. And you're just gonna push and up, push and up, push and up. And I didn't check if I was in the, I'm gonna try just doing the light green, and then I'm gonna go back and push with the dark green because it's making a little weird of a pattern. I don't want that weird pattern, a weird mix. Right, so push up, push up. Kind of stuck my hand in paint there. Push. This is the fun part. Well, it's all the fun part, but now we're going to go down, connect to the stem. And I'm doing them on each side of the stem, not every other, meaning like not a stair step. Ooh, I got a few out of there without even reloading. Okay. Oh, I have some on the other side. Just kidding. I have this side right here. Let me see if I'm still in the recording frame. Cool. I am. Ooh, that was a lot of paint. Let's not do that. Stamp. Stamp. Ooh. Uh-oh. I'm being lazy and I'm sitting down right now. And that's putting my arm at kind of a weird angle. I need to stand up so that I don't have some that are pulled up differently. And one at the end. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to turn this way, and I guess I am going up after I said I like going down. Let's see. Just a couple more. I have a little bit of wet right here on this, so I'm trying not to touch it, not to put my hand in it. Go into this part where they're kind of I'm not gonna mess with that one. All right, I love it. That's the little part where I use the Kelly green that I could have left out. I am going to blow dry it before going back and putting just a little bit of highlights. Actually, I really regret putting that dark green because it kind of messes up that whole look that I was going for. Let me see if I can just cover it. I doubt it though. It wasn't in the original plan, but Monica got crazy. That's alright. Ugh. Okay. And I'm going to blow dry. Okay, next, I'm washing out that round brush that we just had, the one that we just used the leaves with. And I am gonna go and do some accents with that dark green, with the Kelly green. I know I noticed that I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna dampen my brush again. I'm just dipping it to make it lightly wet. It's not saturated or anything like that. Now that I'm close, I can see that I have a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is not any kind of exact science. I'm just putting a little bit of green on that edge, and it's still a little wet, so I'm going to try not to press too hard, but I'm just going to kind of go and run without hesitating down the lines that I had already made, or on the, so just like that. See, it's not super strong, but I did cut through some of the wet paint because it was still wet. And now I pulled it off. All right, there we go. So now you can see the difference. You can kind of see those lines a little bit better. All right, lightly damp. Tap, tap, tap. Dragging down. Dragging down. Uh-oh. And I'm going to just tap a little bit in these lines, in the leaves. I'm dragging across, dragging across. Oh my goodness, those are my sound effects. If you guys have watched any of the, gotta have the sound effects. Yeah, this has been a fun face-to-face paint party. Just dabbing some green in there to highlight so it doesn't get washed away too much. Whoops. Ran out of finger. Stabilization. All right. Can even get some of that lime green or spring green, that light one. I'm gonna go here and just press to make, whoa, that did work. Press to make some leaves. Press, come out there a little bit. There we go. And a little bit of the Kelly green. All right. I'm gonna probably do for the same at the top. Let's see. Actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. I have a feeling it's gonna get covered up when we put a bow, but that's okay. All right, so pressing, 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 pressing. Get a little bit of that dark green. All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and rinse that brush. My water is really dirty, so if you have a dirty water, you aren't gonna really clean your brush. So let me rinse that out real fast. And I'm gathering a few more paper towels because these paper towels are a little bit junky. All right. What is next? What is next? I'm gonna leave the flowers for just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lid of the jar. So you have your gray and your flat brush, and go ahead and just not slop. I was gonna say slop that on there, but I didn't do it straight across. If you want, you can turn your brush like that, and it helps draw a line. You get a little more control that way. turn it around that way. There we go. Make sure you carry over the edges like so. And while it's still damp, oops, okay. I'm going to incorporate some of those other colors. So I'm going to get that periwinkle and brush that in. I don't want to overwork the paint to where I'm making a new color. I literally am trying to just lay some of that on there like that. So I still want the gray, just kind of chopping it, putting some of the edges heavy over the edges so you can see it. Like that. Wow, it's kind of eating it. So I'm going to actually use my chip brush and drag some across. I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm going to blow dry it just a little bit. Let's do a little bit of the dark pink. A little bit of the light pink. A little bit of the damp brush. And a little bit more of the gray. No, gray was too strong. It was too strong. It's okay. Paint is super forgiving. So don't wipe it because you'll wipe it off, but you can always lighten it and then go back over. There we go. That's how we want it. That's how we want it. Okay. Beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see how cool that looks. Ta-da! Alright. Lastly, we are going to, well, not lastly, we have a couple more things, but I'm going to use the round brush and get a little bit of the white, and I'm going to go back and press that in just a little bit of the flowers on one side of the flowers. So I'm not even pressing, I'm just kind of going back and tick marking until it kind of wears off. So I'm not trying to do it barely putting any on the brush. Because when you put too much, that's what happens. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We just want to do it lightly. So I'm actually going to try to carry some of that off. Share it, spread it. And I'm not really heavily matching up. Ooh, the lid was still wet. Just kind of have a damp brush and let's see, kind of lightly, I don't know why I would say kissing the, just it'll dry really quietly. I don't know why I'm talking so low. There we go. All right, while you have some white, you can go back in and just, if you want to do some swirl marks in the middle of your nose. There we go. I don't know if you can see the difference in the, let me stand up and see what you can see. Yeah, see how that highlights nicely. So just going and kind of twisting in, twisting. Oi. Twisting. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you wanted to add some of your periwinkle, I didn't even take that white off. You could, I don't know if you want to do this. Add a few pounces in here. Kind of another flower sticking up, hiding out. I'm not even going to give it leaves. Leaves. Where should I put the other one? Maybe right here. Just follows down.
hope I don't regret this. I hope I don't regret this. That wasn't bad. All right. I love it. I'm happy with it. If I would not, I was going to say you could get crazy and put a little bit of the purple in your roses, but I already have the purple in the lid, so I'm going to keep it just like that. And, oh, it's got paintbrush, had paint on it. Then all we have to do is blow dry. You can write hello, you can write welcome, you can write a monogrammed letter. We didn't even use yellow, so, and I think that was a good choice not to use yellow if, I mean, you could have always done the roses different colors. I can tell you that these roses kind of, well, I say roses, whatever the flowers are that we did, they kind of all blended to be the same color, and you can just see the distinguishes from the sizes, but we could have also done different colors for the flowers if you wanted to. And we didn't use the cotton balls, which is fine. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use those. Sometimes they stick on the wet paint and make a bigger nightmare, make a big mess. Looking for some caps. I'll find them later. All right. Let me put the blow dryer on. Set there for just a second while I get some material for the bow. All right, the color I was looking for the bow, I don't have it. I don't know where it is.
Actually, I do know where it is. It's probably at home. But I was looking for a twine that will come on. Unravel, unravel. What in the world? Oh, maybe that was the end. Alright, that's the wrong part. Uh-oh. Still way wet. This is the long, boring part. And I'm gonna tie it right there. Then I have some burlap that, let's see, that's a good size. I am going to get this, and I want it a little bit, so I'm going to stack them biggest to smallest, and I think I might put a bonus color in there. Oh, she ran away again. Ooh. I really wanted a purple color. So I like purple a lot. People are hating on purple. I know this is not purple. This is not the color I said. Yep, that'll work. That'll work. So I am going to even these up, and I'm going to fold this one in half, and I'm just going to cut it at an angle, and I'm going to hope my scissors are not crummy. These aren't fabric scissors. Then I'm going to get to the next one, and I am going to dovetail it. So I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm going to fold it in half the other way and cut it at an angle. I don't know if I'm off the screen when I do that. So fold it in half and cut it at an angle. Yeah, I got the jankiest scissors. Do the same here. And make sure you don't go the opposite way because that's going to make an arrow. Oh, there we go. Make sure that when you open it, it's going to have the little. And lastly, all right, then we're going to restack them back up. Uh-oh, I want that one a little bit smaller. A little bit shorter. There we go. And oh, I want that one a little bit shorter too. Urgh! Need fabric scissors. Well, that one got to be a lot shorter. Hang on, let me get some other scissors. that visit wasn't so long. All right. Oh, goodness. Still too long. I'm just going to dovetail it. Both of them. Both ends. Stop. Stop. That seemed to work better anyway when I pinched it. Okay. There we go. We're going to fold it like so. Like pinched in the middle. That one pinched in the middle. Fold. Fold already. Okay, I can always manipulate it. Hold it there. Oh man, you know what I totally forgot? Lame-o. I could have paused the video all the times that I was running away to get yarn. I mean, alright. And I like that actually, so I'm gonna leave it all twiggly twined. There we go. There we have it. Yay! I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I hope that it turned out super great for you. And thanks so much. See you next time.